Okay, so to all 194 and plus people, this is the hands-off rally in Atlanta.
Research
Please
involving
enjoy.
censoring the needs of trans
This is as close as I can get. Oh, I'm sorry.
Research examining racial biomedical disparities in treatment and disease.
I don't know who's speaking. I apologize, but
and most importantly, don't forget about the people. The people doing the science. The people affected by the science. The people being targeted
Thank you
and
for
kidnapped
coming
are all
to my
part of the
live.
same machine. So if you stand for science and you stand for education, you also must stand for against transphobia, against racism.
I like the sign. Someone has a sign right here. Yeah, defend your rights. Defend your rights.
Playbook, and everything is connected. Thank you.
As you can see, there's a lot of people here because we are under attack. So, yeah.
If you're taking photos and posting them, please use the hashtag #HandsOff and then #HandsOffAtlanta so we can document this in real time.
Okay.
Secondly, I want to make sure you know the neighbor to your right, your left, in front of you, and behind you. This is a community of activism that we're going to continue to replicate. So get to know one another. So without further ado, I would like to call on Aaron Brumley to talk about immigration.
This is as close as I can get, I think.
I was born in Mexico, but attended the University
Yo,
of West Georgia as an international student.
Yeah, okay, this is as close as I'm getting, I guess.
Me convertí en ciudadana americana en 1999.
This is on immigration rights.
Since 1995, and I became a naturalized citizen in 1999.
Oh my God, your head, bro.
I am here to say, hands off us. Y especialmente a los inmigrantes de piel morena y a los estudiantes internacionales. Hands off immigrants, and especially brown immigrants and international students. Ellos están siendo secuestrados y llevados a cárceles foráneas sin un juicio justo.
Hopefully you could see.
De dar su opinión, por tratar de escapar la violencia y la pobreza.
There you go. Yeah, this is better.
They disappear to foreign prisons without due process, just for speaking their minds, for escaping violence and poverty. Es ilegal. Es tráfico de personas. Es inmoral.
To those who speak Spanish.
It's illegal. It's human trafficking. It's immoral. Hands off us. Martin Niemöller fue un ministro de la Iglesia Luterana que se unió al régimen nazista en 1933. Martin Niemöller was a Lutheran minister who enthusiastically welcomed the Nazi regime in 1933. Finalmente se convirtió en crítico de las políticas religiosas de los nazis y lo encarcelaron. He eventually became a critic of Nazi church policies and was imprisoned. Durante una gira de discursos en 1946, él incluyó estas frases que, en mi opinión, during a lecture in 1946, he included these quotes which, to me, capturan la responsabilidad moral que tenemos de oponer las nuevas normas de inmigración de ICE. Marco Rubio, Stephen Miller, Kristi Noem y el resto de la administración de Musk. They capture the moral responsibility we have in opposing the new immigration policies of ICE. Marco Rubio, Stephen Miller, Kristi Noem, and the rest of the Musk and Trump administration. Primero vinieron por los socialistas y yo guardé silencio porque yo no era socialista. First they came for the socialists and I did not speak out because I was not a socialist. Luego vinieron por los sindicalistas y yo no hablé porque yo no era sindicalista. Then they came from the trade unionist, and I did not speak out because I was not a trade unionist. Luego vinieron por los judíos, y yo no dije nada porque yo no era judío. Then they came for the Jews, and I did not speak out because I was not a Jew. Luego vinieron por mí, y para entonces ya no quedaba nadie que hablara en mi nombre. Then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak for me. No toquen a los inmigrantes, que se respete el proceso jurídico, manos de fuera. Hands of immigrants, respect due process. Hands of that. Thank you.
Come on, give her another round of applause. I like how she ended that.
Yes, there's a nice
As a
sign
civil
right
rights
here.
attorney, there's no more fundamental right than the right to due process. As we continue to see what's happening around our immigration laws, we cannot allow the lawless to continue the conversation. And so that's why it brings me great pleasure to bring this next speaker to the stage. Someone who's dedicated her entire life to the fight for civil rights, the fight in courtrooms and outside of courtrooms, as the executive director of the ACLU of Georgia. So it brings me pleasure to introduce my Maria Young.
Okay, I guess I'm holding. Okay.
We are here in Atlanta, a vibrant, multiracial, multicultural city.
Yeah.
We aspire to respect and support everyone. When we say y'all, we mean all. We respect the freedom of every person to be their unique self, whether they are black or white, Asian or Latino, senior or student, newcomer or indigenous, gay or straight, transgender or not, male or female, however you worship, wherever your grandparents were born, whether you are differently abled, you belong here. We have seen MAGA politicians and their billionaire buddies singling out transgender people and immigrants to bully so that they can put themselves on top. We are here to say, hands off. Hands off our diverse and inclusive community. Hands off our public schools where every child is welcome and parents can find the support and help to help their children learn. Hands off our colleges and universities. In Atlanta, we take education very seriously. The first thing Black Atlantans did after slavery was start schools and churches. The first baccalaureate degree award in Atlanta was at Atlanta University. So we care about education and the freedom of expression. But let's be clear, the MAGA politicians and their billionaire buddies are breaking everything that built the middle class. Everything that has made America a more just and fair society. This march is possible because the civil rights movement leaders who were making their decisions just a few blocks away fought to have the right to protest, fought to have free speech. They were beaten and jailed for it. So hands off our First Amendment rights. Since January 20th, MAGA and the billionaires have been attacking America's greatest achievements. They've been breaking the ways that we build community and protect our families. They're firing the people who protect our civil rights. They're firing the workers who stop disease and make sure our food is safe, who make sure our air is clean. Firing the workers who make sure the Social Security check our grandmother earned for decades comes on time. That our veterans get the health care they have earned. They are firing the workers who help our kids get the best possible education from preschool to college. We have these things because we have a democracy where the people have a voice, where the people elect their leaders. And MAGA and the billionaires are trying to break this democracy. We say hands off. Hands off. The ACLU is here to fight with you. I fought for democracy in South Africa, and I'm not going to stand by while a white South African comes here to destroy our democracy.
Yes!
The ACLU has filed over 30 lawsuits across the country to stop this power grab, and we are just getting started. Ending last night, we fought over here in this gold dome to block MAGA bills from becoming law, and because of your power, we stopped many of them.
The Georgia State Capitol is what she's referring
The power of
to.
the people is greater than the people in power. This movement will grow. We are just getting started. So thank y'all for being here to stand up for all of our kids, to stand up for all of our communities, to stand up for our democracy, to stand up and say, hands off.
Hands off!
And when we fight, we win. Thank you.
When we fight, we win. Oh, I need to write that down.
Marietta. I am also the first openly Democratic socialist to be elected in Georgia legislature in history. And I am a proud member of Atlanta, USA. I've been hearing a lot, but there's a lot of fear out there. But what I see today is not fear, am I right? We are not scared, because we're not going to bow down to these fascists destroying our government from within. We are here to organize. We are here to fight. We're here in solidarity together as working class people to take back our government. Yesterday, my colleagues and I were in that building working late into the night, voting on legislation. And just like in the federal government, the Georgia Republicans are doing everything they can to undermine, defund, and destroy our state government here in Georgia. They passed a tax cut where the vast majority of the benefits are going to go to the very wealthiest of Georgians and not to the rest of us. Mr. Governor Brian Kemp, biggest priority was to help the insurance companies by making it harder for you to sue when you have damages. And they even tried to pass their very own Georgia Doge bill here. But the good news, we killed that bill because we're not going to let that happen here in the Senate. So we need to continue to fight that, especially since we got an unelected Nazi over there and an elected Nazi destroying our federal government as we speak. But let me tell y'all something. If you want to fight the billionaires and the fascists taking over our government, we need to build an opposition that will fight like hell and stand strong on our progressive values. It's not enough to just be against something, y'all. We have to present our own alternative vision for the future that is for working people all over the state and this country. We need to show that we are the party for working people, and we're going to fight for housing, healthcare, and an economy that works for all of us, not just the people at the top. And we got to get money out of politics, so we don't have unelected bureaucrats funding our government and bribing our politicians to do whatever the hell they want. So right now, I need my colleagues to not cower, to not fear, to not listen to the polling. I have Democratic colleagues, both on the federal and state level, who are voting for anti-trans bills. Voting for anti-immigrants bills. As a son of Colombian immigrants, I cannot understand how you would sell out our community like that. So now we need leadership, now more than ever. We need people who aren't going to capitulate and instead going to stand strong on our progressive values. Stand strong for our LGBTQ community. Stand strong for our immigrant community. Stand strong for working class people all over this country. So I have a request for y'all, right? November is going to be huge this year and next year. We do have elections this year, by the way. The Public Service Commission is up in Georgia this year. So make sure to vote this November, because that's going to be a big one. They decide what your utility rates are. And if y'all notice your utility bills going up, that's them. So let's get them out of office. Now, but next year in 2026, when we got November...
he's talking about Georgia Power and how they're raising rates.
In Georgia. And I need y'all to remember that it doesn't matter what party that person is.
It's because of 2 power plants
if they
that we did not want.
For you, we need to get them the hell out of that office. The Democratic Party is at a crossroads. We have to decide if we were going to be a party for the people or for the people at the top. We cannot do both. For far too long, we've tried to capitulate to major corporations, the wealthy elite, while also trying to stand for working people. You can't do both because they are at opposite ends. They want to take our money, our taxpayer dollars, our hard-earned tax dollars, and give it all to themselves and make it so that we can never, ever have the American dream that we deserve. They are buying up all our housing across this state and making it unaffordable for the rest of us. We cannot allow that to happen. So we're at a crossroads. We have to decide if we're going to stand for working people or not. And I have my answer. What is y'all's answer? So let's keep on the fight, y'all. After this is not the end. This is just the beginning. Join your local organizations. Join your local Democrats. Join Atlanta DSA. Join Working Families Party and 5051. And so many other amazing organizations like Guy Lowe right here that previously speak, and so many others that are doing such great work. Do the local organizing, because this is a grassroots movement. We got to build it from the bottom up to make real change for us. Let's do it, y'all.
You say power, people. Power. People. Power. I'm Alicia Stallworth, the Georgia Campaign's Director for Reproductive Freedom for All, formerly known as NARAL Pro-Choice America. And I am fired up to be here with you today. From coast to coast, red states to blue, we are rising up to stay. Hands off our health care. Hands off our bodies. And most importantly, hands off our freedom. Let's be clear. What we're living through isn't just bad policy, y'all. It's a coordinated attack. A manufactured crisis of care. Yes. And it's being pushed by Donald Trump, Elon Musk, and their extremist billionaire cronies who want to control our bodies, silence our communities, and gut our rights. I'm glad y'all with me. Just this week alone showed us exactly what they're about. On Tuesday, they froze funding to Title X, the nation's family planning program, ripping away birth control and cancer screenings from millions of people already struggling to get by. On Wednesday, the Supreme Court heard a case that could kick Planned Parenthood out of Medicaid entirely, denying people the right to choose the provider they trust. And on Thursday, Republicans confirmed Dr. Oz. Yeah.
my state of Pennsylvania.
A war on health
He
care.
didn't want him.
And the plan couldn't be more clear. They want to ban abortion.
He
They
tried
want to
running
push
in
birth
Pennsylvania. He
control,
lost. Thank the
maternal
Lord.
care and STI treatment out of reach. They want to gut Medicaid, even though 46% of births in this state is covered by it. Even though Medicaid saves lives, especially in states that have expanded it. And yet, they'd rather let rural hospitals close, let moms die,
I
and
thought
let
that dude
families
lost.
suffer.
Like, what the hell?
Just to get
How
more
is
tax
Oz
breaks to the
still in
billionaires.
politics? Like,
Let's
come
not
on,
forget,
bro.
after they
kicked
overturned
them out of
Roe v.
Pennsylvania,
Wade,
like, go
people
home.
had died because abortion bans denied them life-saving care. And now they're coming for more. This isn't just about reproductive freedom being under attack. They're targeting trans people, immigrants, people living on the margins, people with disabilities, black families, LGBTQ plus youth, and the list continues. They're trying to turn us against each other because they're scared of what happens when we fight together. But here's what they don't understand. We see the game, and we're not falling for it. In Georgia, we watched them criminalize pregnancy outcomes. We watched them attack trans kids and deny care to trans people in prison. We've watched them defund real health care while funneling millions to fake clinics that lie to people. And together, we say enough. We are fighting for a future where everyone, no matter who they are, how much money they make, can have their own decisions about their bodies, their families, and their lives. So, to every extremist trying to hold us back, I close by saying, we are the majority, and we are going nowhere. So, hands off Georgia, hands off our bodies, and hands off our freedom. Thank you.
Hands up, hands up.
Hey Atlanta, how we doing? My name is Roy Sobel and I'm an Atlanta native. And I've been a documentary photographer, an artist, and an activist for the last 30 years in this city. And for those you know me, you typically see me walking around with a camera. And with my camera, I usually tell voices of the stories captured during all of these protests and demonstrations that we have been a part of for all kinds of reasons. But this time I actually want to stand up and use my voice because what's going on deeply affects me.
I know that's right.
Amen.
Okay.
I am just one voice of tens of thousands of perspectives representing our beautiful LGBTQ plus community. Can I get a shout out, queer family? I am actually 1% of this group that is making everybody real angry up in the White House. I am a proud, non-binary, transgender, masculine person. I'm an example of someone living a truly, authentically, and thriving life here.
Thank you. Live your truth.
However, we are under attack. These things that have been in action, or at least trying to, is alarming, it's disheartening, and it's dangerous. They want to erase us. They want to take us and wipe us from the web pages, from the books, but you know, you can't erase history because I'm standing right here. So I say no. I'm here to say, hands off my health care. I'm here to say, hands off our life-saving hormones. I'm here to say, hands off for our right to use a public bathroom with dignity and peace. I say hands off to my gender marker on my passport so I have the ability to travel freely without confrontation and without the risk of confiscation of my legal documents. And this is happening all over the country. We are just that 1%. they're focusing on the wrong 1%. You know what I mean? They are trying to use gender dysphoria as an excuse to dismantle protections of all people under Section 504 of the Rehabilitation Act. And they propose these bills, and some of the laws actually passed by threatening doctors and teachers and even parents of trans children with the actual prosecution of child abuse if there's an acknowledgement to actually understand and promote who their child wants to be. And as someone who transitioned much later in life, I want to acknowledge to the trans kids that may be out here today that gender dysphoria is real. It's a very devastating and deeply emotional experience. And I realized this 40 years ago when I hit puberty, that there's an extreme discomfort, an unsettling feeling in your body of not being who you are born as. This led to a lot of anxiety in my life, a lot of isolating depression in my life. And at that time, I wish I had the language to express what my needs were. But I didn't. But now I do. And I am living the best version of myself that I ever could be. So the trans family and the trans kids that are out there today, I want to say to you is that I see you. I know exactly how you feel. And I know that you are loved and supported. So trust these kids. Listen to what they have to say because those are valid feelings. And even though they do pass these laws that make our lives more challenging to navigate in this already difficult world, they're not going to erase us because we're not going anywhere. And I do know that our LGBTQ plus community is strong. And we look after each other. But I have to say something to you, my allies of the LGBTQ community. If you see something, please say something. Because if they pass these laws that try to take away the liberties socially, we can stand up for each other. And I want you to keep an eye out, specifically for my trans women of color, my trans sisters, because they are attacked the most of all of us. And I know that we're all just trying to live our lives with dignity and respect. So I just want to say, let's make some good trouble. Make some good trouble.
Hands up! Hands up! Hands up! Hands up! My name is Bentley Hudgens. I use they, them pronouns, and I'm the Georgia State Director of the Human Rights Campaign. Donald Trump and his MAGA cult believe that he is a king with a divine right to do whatever he wants to our country, to our rights, and with our families. Trump is committed to destabilizing our country while the Republican-controlled Congress yields all authority to Musk and his billionaire buddies. I believe that he is a deeply corrupt man with an evil agenda and has no business being in our White House. I have no king and neither do you. These people and their ilk have no plan to make life better for anyone. When fascism knocks on your front door, it will steal everything from you and blame it on your neighbor. It's their chaos that thrives in destruction and division. Cruelty is the point. Discrimination is the point. Harm is the point. Hate is the point. Today follows the most hateful state legislative session that I have ever seen. Georgia's MAGA extremists spent every minute attacking equality and fighting to strip away rights from the LGBTQIA plus community. They hate our love, so they attack our families. They hate our freedom, so they bully transgender people and our children. They hate our intelligence, so they attack actual history that tells the real story of America. They want us to feel like we don't belong, but I've got something to tell them. And I feel like you got something to tell them. We belong here! We belong in safe schools that are well-funded. We belong in well-paid union jobs that give us living wages. We deserve universal health care that offers every single person in this country a healthy and abundant future. We deserve to be safe, y'all. We deserve to be safe from violence and extremism. We believe in the Constitution. It's what makes us different than the MAGA extremists who are gutting our federal government and selling it to the highest billionaire bidder. Our core belief is that every person is the same as anyone else, and all else flows from this. It's this promise of democracy that is so precious. We are all equal in the inalienable human rights that we share. We have a clear picture of the America we all want to live in. Equality, opportunity, and dignity for all. And in that time, we will leave no one behind in our fight for progress. The unfulfilled promise of America is still within our grasp, and despair is a luxury that we cannot afford. When we organize, we win. It's our time. America has no king. Long live democracy! Hands off! If you're ready to fight back with us, text JOIN to 472-472. I want to say thank you so much to the organizers who worked tirelessly to make today's demonstration safe and accessible. Thank you! I love you all. Remember that you are always worthy. Remember that you are worthy to be fought for. Remember that you are worth it, and that we will fight for each and every single one of you. Thank you.
Hello, Atlanta! My name is Nora Borchapulan, and I'm here because I lived what we're looking to prevent: a dictatorship. I grew up in the brutal regime of Ceausescu in Romania. I grew up watching my mother being dragged for interrogations, 8 months pregnant with my sister. I was only 6 years old, and I can still taste that fear. And when I see families being picked up by ICE, I know what that fear tastes like. I remember the empty shelves, no food. I remember getting in line every day when I came home from school because I was the oldest, and I would get in line because if there was a line, it meant there was something to eat, until my mom would get home from work. I remember our phones being tapped and being fearful of what we say. I remember the lies that they would tell in our history classes. And I remember how hard my family fought for us to know the truth, how we shared interdicted books so we would not be living the lie. We would know the truth, and we would know our history. I lived with a grandfather whose religion was interdicted, who slept with his clothes by his bed expecting every night to be picked up. But it didn't stop him. I want to tell you that none of that can stop us. Because when you have truth, integrity, and where you value human life, you have righteousness on your side. My grandfather did not stop preaching. He held mass in secret. My grandmother answered the door, no matter the fear, every night because she knew that it would be people in need. And even though all we may have had is some dark bread and lard, she would feed them. So they're gonna try to instill an awful lot of fear in us to stop this. Keep in mind, fear is contagious, but so is courage. So is courage. I would dishonor my family and my ancestors who stood up if I didn't fight back, if I didn't speak out. I want you to know that united, we can topple them. This is how we topple Ceausescu, and this is how we topple them. So fight back, resist with all you have. I've lived in one dictatorship. I refuse in my lifetime.
The folks who have planned this. Shout out to the people who are listening in the overflows. In the overflows, people want the message and the energy. And I think I got something to tell you today. Friends, I know the theme of this is called hands off. I can dig it. But actually, friends, this means hands on. This means hands on. This means escalate. This means join organization. This means mobilize. This means organize your life to do this. Because we need you. There is no sitting down.
Yes, yes. Yes, yes.
Guess who don't sit down?
Okay,
Guess who
sis.
don't go dancing when we're in the smoke of fascism? Our enemies, they have been organizing for decades, for our demise, for our suffering, to take down the working class, to strip women of their rights, to oppress trans folks. They've been organizing. They don't take a day off. And so I hope we get real clear. This energy. If you don't know where you're going tomorrow, if you don't know your next move in the next week, come find me. Look for the red hat. Folks who are on Marshall, raise your hand in this crowd. There's too many. All y'all can't come to me. Raise your hand. If you are an organization in this city that's moving a program, raise your hand. You fighting for something. You need volunteers. You asking people to show up. The folks are trying to get the mayor to give us righteous rent. Who's going to show up? Who's going to show up? When they open up Top City.
Cops, we don't want
Who's
it!
going to show up on May Day when the workers take these streets again? We gonna need you.
We don't want Cop City!
Who's gonna show up to talk to your neighbor and get curious about their suffering, about their dreams, and what could be possible if we organize our neighbors? Just start there, baby. I ain't even gonna tell you. You ain't gotta start. Just organize your neighbors. Do a little block party. Tell folks to come to your house and do a little barbecue something. Keep it cute, but organize. Keep it cute. Unite and organize. Join something. This is your moment. Let's take it. Let's take it. Let's take it. Follow this work. Follow. Get your phone out. Look on IG at ATL People's Campaign. We meet every Wednesday. We're not playing no games. That's an invitation for anybody who want to do this righteous work with us. I'm done talking again. That was at ATL People's Campaign. I'm Mary Hooks. I'm with the Movement for Black Lives. And I see you in these
Black
streets.
Lives.
Let's go.
My Black Lives.
So I want to do something. Mary, come back up here. Now, this phenomenal organizer has been doing this for years. I want y'all to connect with her because she's doing the work. So again, tell them again how they can get tapped in.
Yes, please.
ATL People
let my
Campaign.
viewers know.
ATL People's Campaign here in Atlanta every
ATL's
Wednesday. We're building
campaign.
people's power, people's assemblies. We need you. Every district.
ATL People's
every
Campaign.
MPU. We coming for you, baby. We need power in this city that belongs to us, not the corporations, not Buckhead. Real talk, not Andre. The people. The people. The people. It ain't just happening up there. It's happening here. And let's get to work in our backyard.
So again, we want to make sure you have tangible things that you can do, because this is not a moment. This is in fact a movement. And with that, we are circulating the crowd with a way that you can donate to these organizations, because again, this costs money, y'all. Organizing costs money. These events cost money, so you should be getting a flyer with the QR code where you can donate. Make sure we continue this movement, because it's going to take all of us. I heard that there's about 20,000 people here.
Wow,
20. So that means we have 20,000 comrades, 20,000 conspirators, 20,000 people that's ready to mobilize. And so with that, I want to bring up next the voice of this movement. A young lady who has been on the front lines since we met her in Louisville, Kentucky. Somebody who always brings the energy. We always are on the front lines. And I don't want to take any more time, but introduce Dr. Portia Mitchell Miller.
No justice!
No peace!
No justice!
No peace!
No justice!
No peace!
Free the land by any means necessary. Today, we find ourselves in a crucial time in this nation's history, a moment where we must raise our voice against alarming trends and threatenings to our democracy and the well-being of countless Americans, mostly affected by black, brown, and marginalized.
Yes.
So I want to say thank y'all allies for standing with us. The actions Donald Trump and Elon Musk want to be president, the congressional Republicans, is dangerous. It's a dangerous power grab that we cannot afford to let happen. The intersection of police brutality, diverse equity, DEI. With actions, those powers are critical. When we fail to address these issues, we perpetuate the cycle of violence and inequity that have lasting impact on the black communities and other marginalized groups. It is so vital that we advocate for policies to prioritize our justice, equity, and inclusion. It creates a safer, more equitable community for everyone. So let's be clear. It is not merely partisan to go through these issues. This is about the heart. This is about the soul of our nation. And the impact of their policies is being felt disproportionately to our black communities and among our veterans. I am a U.S. Army disabled veteran. I am a black woman.
Yeah, black woman!
Like my other fellow veterans out here, I just want to let y'all know that this is going to impact us. And we deserve access to quality service.
Yes.
Cuts for those health services could undermine our well-being and our support systems. And we should not have to suffer by any means for what we have earned.
Right.
For this democracy, We put our life on the line to swear the same oath as President Donald Trump to protect us, domestic and foreign. They are simply focused on policies that benefit the wealthy, and it can overshadow the needs of our right people that wants to pass the legislations of the people. So we create further challenges for the black communities and other marginalized groups addressing these issues. It is crucial for us to build a coalition to fight from the money and power grabs that's going on in this nation today. So I say this, we the people create this future. Together, we can assure our voices will be heard, every community will be valued, every person has an opportunity to thrive, and let's stand against the power grab, fight for a brighter future for our youth that's going to be our future leaders. So right now, I just want my comrades that we've been fighting, going to jail, making sure our voices is heard. Chevy, Jaden, Scotty.
Yep.
Greg,
Say their names.
Dante, Mary Hooks.
Say their names.
Thank y'all so much. Black Lives Matter.
Oh yeah. Oh. See, this is the.
Hey y'all, my name is Jackson.
Oh, I wish you guys could see this.
And I'm a recovering Republican.
Embarrasser in chief. No, I want to take a photo.
I've been clean.
Hold on,
and
I'm taking a
sane
photo.
since November. Not fighting them. We loved our country and America. The Republicans of my youth hated the Soviet Union and dictators in Russia. Yeah! Instead of trying to make best friends with them and become like them. In his quest to become a dictator, Donald Trump has tried to silence our media, silence the law firms, silence the courts, silence the universities. He threatened Columbia University to put a freeze on $500 million, and Columbia said, "Oh, dear sir, can we bow down to you?" And Columbia University said, "Just give us that $500 million, and we're going to give our campus police the right to arrest protesters." It was so bad that a Yale professor who actually wrote 2 books about it, about how we're being taken over by fascism, Jason Staley. He was so concerned that he's taking his family and moving out of the country because he sees it about to happen. Because he sees that Donald Trump is copying Joseph Stalin's playbook from the 1930s, picking out groups of people, turning hate onto those groups of people, and using that hate to enrich his own power. Folks, a young man I met at the YMCA, Army veteran, decorated, he was an Army officer, he left his career at the Army and his kids in Alabama to come here to Atlanta to work. I said, "That's great, what do you do?" He said, "Well, sir, until Valentine's Day, I was an IRS agent." And I started crying. He said, "Don't cry for me, Mr. Jackson. I'm going to be fine." And I know he is. But what we have to remember, when they're making all these cuts, it's not saving me and you money. It's costing us money. Just the IRS alone, just the IRS is costing me and you $30 billion. This first DEI policy. It was Abraham Lincoln, and it was called the Emancipation Proclamation.
Okay, sir, what do you know about that? Don't speak on things you don't know.
Hey, how everybody doing? How y'all doing? What's going on? Let me hear some. Let me hear some. You a soldier? Who? Marines? All right. Mr. Jackson, man, I really appreciate you giving me this floor. Let me hire this. What kind of tall drink milk? I want you guys to know my name is Johnny Johnson. My name's so nice you gotta say it twice. Okay? Tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a former Army veteran, finance officer. I led men and women. Thank you. And finally getting out the military about this time last year, I stopped cutting my hair, thank God. And I accepted the position for the IRS. The stipulations was I come to Atlanta for a year and I can go back to Alabama and raise my kids. Who? That's cool, I'll do that. It was a sweet deal, a good career path. Something so worth it that, yeah, for my enthusiasts, I loaded up my 2005 Honda Shadow motorcycle, biggest duffel bag, and the blessing of a frat brother, and I crashed on this couch till further notice. And what did I do? I improved myself. From there, I improved my living situation, my transportation, so much so to where I was a walking distance from my job because I was trained to do it efficiently. Let's fast forward. Heartbreak on Valentine's Day, President's Day weekend. After a full day of training, coming to the end of our training, that we're going to be released as IRS agents to audit, change the whole perspective of everything that was going on, right? Yeah, that happened. My manager at the time came in after a full day's work and read an executive order that wasn't signed. Nope. That effective immediately. All government workers are returned to their POD, their place of duty. Mind you, okay, what's going on? Because this is a Friday and the government does not work on Saturdays. They want us to come home now with no further instruction. The wizards in the room already had articles drafted. IRS plans to make drastic layoffs. What? Now, let's double back there. This is President's Day weekend. Y'all remember President's Day weekend? I'm sure y'all have. What happened Valentine's Day weekend? We was traveling away from our families. What did some of us do? We told them to come see us. The last hour of work, we're battling. Now we have no job. And my coworker next to me, it was her daughter's first time riding on a plane by herself, and I gotta come home. What is going on? I can tell y'all, there was a lot more tears than talking. I came home, came back to work. Eventually, they lined us up, we turned our stuff in, walked away, and that was it. I walked back, right? I did it, right? I gave my life to this country. I earned it back. I took a leap for an American dream, and it turned into a nightmare, and I was filled with rage because that was some bullshit.
Yes!
And I stewed in anger. I stewed, y'all. I stayed to myself because this is a big city, but it's pretty lonely if you have no purpose. Yeah, there's a silver lining in all this. I met Jackson at the gym because I was making my body stronger. I channeled that energy and we just had a regular interaction. I was just telling him, hey man, you know what was going on. He heard the pain in my voice, he seen the strength, but he felt the resiliency, and he said, man, you got a story I think you should tell. You think somebody need to hear me? Because I'm a soldier, I take orders, I don't tell feelings. He took me to a dinner, I met some wonderful people, and they just wanted to hear me. And I was so appreciative of that. And then a couple weeks ago, I went to my first rally, and all that anger that stewed inside of me, it turned into something, and I figured out a way how to channel it. Now I'm here. And I'm telling you this, I'm not kicking and screaming, y'all. I've been trained to be efficient, swift. Now that I know what's going on, I have a right to be angry, but also have a right to change this. So I've studied the rule book. I've linked myself up, and this will not happen again. Because I have 2 daughters I sacrificed my life for. I came back and I'm going to raise them. Lauren Paige Johnson, Zaria Johnny Johnson. Your father is here. I'm doing the right thing. I'm going to raise you ladies. You deserve better.
If you didn't know, we're estimating 30,000 people showed up today. Yes, so if you feel like continuing this party, the people who couldn't fit here are down at the Memorial Green. If you exit out the building this way, or the space, and head down MLK, you can go hang out, hear the speakers again. They're down there speaking, super fun. And a reminder again that we're gonna keep doing this. So make your friends, meet your neighbor, have your barbecue, make it cute, if you remember that one. All right, and we've got a couple more speakers for you guys here, so if you can hang out for a little while longer, we'd love to keep you.
Good afternoon, Atlanta. My name is Ed Anderson. I'm a 10-year Air Force veteran and a retired DeKalb County school teacher. First thing I'd like to ask is for all the veterans in the audience to raise their hand. All right? All right, I appreciate and salute each and every one of you. The choices I made to serve my country, first in the Air Force and then in public schools, is typical of the path of many veterans who have taken to the path that many veterans have taken to continue our service to our communities. Georgia has more than 600,000 veterans, and almost 30% of them did not vote in the last election. Yeah, tell me about it. But now they're starting to ask questions because they're being impacted by the proposed cuts to the VA. I know personally because the VA saved my life. The majority of federal employees are as dedicated as I am, and they express their support for our efforts every day to save our jobs. Already we face incredible waiting times, financial disparities, cuts in educational benefits. These are to the people who raised their hand and took that oath to defend our democracy. If we don't respect our veterans, we don't respect our democracy. I encourage anyone that would like to. My name's Ed Anderson. I'm with Common Defense, and I'll be glad to talk with any of you at any time. Thank you, and God bless you.
Hello, Georgia! Are you ready to fight? I'm Nan Orrock. I'm the state senator for downtown Atlanta. And I'm a former freedom fighter from the 60s. What we're doing today is a national mobilization. We're making history. This is the beginning of the next stage of this struggle to throw these bastards out. We just wrapped the legislative session last night. 22 bills are headed to the governor's desk, bills that the right wing wanted. They were their top priorities, and they got 22 of them. We're going to have to throw out the people that are running this place and put people in that are going to stand up for us. We're breaking records right now. You are part of breaking records and making history. And I saw the power of that when I stepped into the March on Washington in 1963. I saw the power of the people. We have to know it, understand it, and act on it. We are the people. We are the power. Fight back. Fight back. Fight back. Get in the streets and rally. Hands off all of us. Hands off our freedoms. Hands off our democracy. Failure is not an option. Are we going to fight back? Fight back. Let's go. Let's go. Fight back.
Good afternoon, Atlanta. It's been a long day. I walked over 3.5 miles to get here from Piedmont Park. So let's add a little energy to this room. When our rights are under attack, what do?
We stand up, fight back. Stand up, fight back.
Thank you very much. I'm the Secretary Treasurer of the Georgia AFL-CIO. but we fight for every worker who gets up to go to work every day. And look where we are. We're here at Liberty Plaza. Because only in the state of Georgia does Liberty need to be gated and surrounded by a wrought iron fence. President Trump and Elon Musk are trying to make federal workers out to be enemies. Do you think the nurses who care for our veterans are enemies? No! Do you think the people doing research to cure cancer and Alzheimer's are our enemies? No! Do you think the TSA agents that are out there protecting our passengers are enemies? No! I got a call earlier this week from a colleague of mine. His wife called him at 6:30 in the morning. She works at the CDC, and she let him know that her entire department was gone. That's because on Tuesday, April 1st, 2,400 CDC workers got an email that they were terminated from their jobs. Families across Atlanta and across Georgia received phone calls, panic phone calls, tear-filled phone calls of people that didn't know what they were going to do next. And these folks aren't just part of our community. They're our neighbors, they're our friends, and they're our family. And the CDC isn't just any other federal agency. It is the backbone of America's public health system. So I want to let you guys know that labor is here to stand with you and alongside you. We will fight this in the courts. We will fight this in the streets. We will fight this in our communities. We will never back down. And labor will never apologize for standing up for the working people in Georgia. Thank you very much.
Hey y'all, my name's Tim Franz and I'm with the American Friends Service Committee. It's so great to be with y'all today. 30,000 people. And we got a team of about 55. We're in these things trying to stop traffic, keep people safe, dozens of medical situations that we dealt with. We worked with EMS and we made it through it. And so I just want to give some real love to those of you that are wearing those vests. And right now, we got about 200 people that are sticking it out at Memorial Park. Let's give them some love too. I hope you can hear me right now. I want you to raise your hand if you felt powerful today. All right, I want you to grab that power and bring it close to your heart, because guess what? We got to bring it into our daily lives. This is not a one-day event. We need everybody here to become an organizer. To organize your corner. Organize your workplace. Organize your church. Organize your neighborhood. Organize your family. Because these days are so important that we all come together and find each other and meet each other. But we live in revolutionary times. The revolution already happened and we lost. And now is our time. This is when we start to build back. This is when we start to fight back. This is where we say hands off. So here's to tomorrow. Keep that power close to your heart. Let's go.
When I say hands, you say all. Hands off. Hands off. Hands off. Hands off. My name is Alfred Shibby Brooks, and I have the honor of serving as the first active teacher to ever be elected to the Atlanta Public School Board in its 150-year history. This week, Atlanta Public Schools received a letter from the United States Department of Ed that said we have until Thursday, April 8th, to certify that we are removing any remnants of diversity, equity, or inclusion from our district, the threat of losing the $20 to $30 million in federal assistance that we get to be able to supply education for our kids. I wanted to make sure that Atlanta understood the importance of our local governments and making sure that we have people elected on our boards, on our city councils, on our county commissions that will not play games with these people. So please understand that when April 9th comes, we will still have a Department of Equity inside of Atlanta Public Schools. Now more than ever, we have a responsibility to make sure that we hold the line. 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 Thank y'all so much, and I look forward to having your support. We got tough days ahead of us, but we will make it together. Thank you.
Hey everybody, my name is Bree.
Hi, Bree.
Hi, I'm with 5051 Georgia, and some of you may have recognized me from the first march with 5051 Georgia on February 5th. Yep. It has been 2 months today that I have been organizing. What's happening? I had a speech prepared. It was all typed up. I had a delightful human write it for me, and I decided to go rogue because, like, hello, look at me. So I had this amazing interaction and a fond memory just now. Somebody who came to canvass my house last year. It was like June, July, and he's here. And I ran into him and his beautiful wife with one of my other friends, and it just brought all of these memories back. And if it wasn't for him getting out in our local Cobb County community, we wouldn't be here. Because he came to my door, and I invited him into my home, and he inspired me to be out on the streets, okay? And it is that easy, okay? You can inspire anybody. You can go and you can meet your neighbors. You can go and you can offer a meal. You can go and you can open your door. You can, anything, y'all, anything. When you are out and your mind is open and you are looking for opportunity to be kind and get involved and reimagine what your community can be, that is power. You cannot stop that. Look at this. Look at what we have done. And if it wasn't for 2 people coming to knock on my door, we wouldn't be here today. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Don't stop. Do not stop here. All right, we are done, y'all. That's it. That's it. Feel free to head to the Memorial Green if you want to keep hanging out. If you see a... No, never mind. Don't do that. If you